Hello everyone, Meteorologist Carly Smith here. We are live with the update on the flash flood warning that is in place for Padre Island. Many locations saw up to 10 inches of rainfall. We're also going to talk about the rain in Corpus Christi. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But thank you everyone for joining this live update. Here we are. We've got a flash flood warning that is in place until 12:30 for 10 plus inches of rainfall that's already fallen on the island. This was earlier this morning, right around 8:30. Our photographer Jeremy Landers went out there, and this was Park Road 22, especially around, I believe it's in Cantada Street or Padre Bali Park. That area has seen some of the worst flooding there on the island. You definitely want to avoid Park Road 22, basically from Whitecap all the way to Padre Island National Seashore is where we're seeing some of the worst flooding. Police have urged people to avoid driving in this location. Several neighborhoods have been flooded. So if you live on the island and you have any updates on what things are like on your streets, please let us know. But of course, we are going to talk about all the rain across the region, but this is just another picture from Jeremy Landers again. So right now, here's the latest look. We also have a flood advisory. So flood advisory has now also been issued for Corpus Christi, and that is new since I started prepping this update. And so basically what we are seeing here is going to be the flood advisory through noon. Minor flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas, ponding of water in urban or other areas is occurring. And this is for all of Corpus Christi, south side, north side, bay side, anywhere in Corpus Christi. We've got lightning and heavy rainfall right over the radar now. So that's that little circle you're seeing by Highway 44. But what we have is 1 to 3 inches of rain has already fallen in Corpus Christi this morning. We saw a lot of rain overnight before many of you woke up. We got a break in the rain in Corpus Christi, and now rain has moved back into the area. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are expected between now and noon, and so this is going to impact obviously your morning drive anywhere, but getting to lunch somewhere, things like that, all going to have a role in just how heavy this rainfall is and how much more additional rain we're going to continue to see. So the flash flood warning is until 12:30. The heavy rainfall through Corpus Christi is going to be off and on through noon. And when we take a look at the bigger picture, I might need to redraw this line, but what we have, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. I'm going to make sure all of the radars are turned on. There we go. So what we have is there's been this area of rotation, which is like it's a surface low basically, which is right over Seadrift now. This was right over Corpus Christi this morning, which is why we saw so much rain through the morning and all the flooding started taking shape on Padre Island. This is a low. It is working a little similar to a tropical system. It is not a tropical system, but it is tropical moisture. It is interacting with the Gulf of Mexico, and that is kind of fueling it. So we have this band that is set up pretty much from not quite Zapata, but almost, so just south of Falfurrias through Rivera and up now into Kingsville. Rain is building inland as we speak, so we're starting to see it move more and more inland, but from Corpus Christi to Kingsville to Rivera, Falfurrias, all of these locations are seeing rain build and grow, and then that is going to continue to move to the northeast, up the coastline toward Houston. And so we've got several more hours of rain in the forecast. It's 10 o'clock now. There's at least rain until noon. This was tracking at about 20 miles per hour earlier when I timed it out. New rain has developed since then. So if we pause this, we have these new storms that have developed on the back end. Take that up through the coast as this low is moving northeast. That actually could keep some at least light to moderate rainfall through Mustang Island and Rockport. So we have Portland, Corpus Christi. I wanted to get Padre Island, but Mustang Island, Mustang Beach, would count as well, but it's a little bit further up the coast. But we are talking about some moderate rainfall. It is slowly going to drift a little bit more north. So it will slowly drift more north, but I think Padre Island, where all the canals, all the homes are, Mustang Island, and then also all the areas seeing rain now, Corpus Christi, Portland, Rockport, you're going to continue to see rain through at least 2 o'clock this afternoon, if not longer. So that keeps getting extended every time I look at this system as it continues to grow and strengthen. So we're talking, it's not the heaviest rain. The heaviest rain was early on that produced an inch of rain in just 15 minutes at times on Padre Island. But this is going to continue to move northeast. That line of storms is going to train over the same location, and this is just going to worsen the flooding conditions. I know one of the roadways that has been closed is I believe it's 286. It's Crosstown going toward Chapman Ranch, and then where it meets, let me just look at Google before I get these roads wrong. But Crosstown headed toward Chapman Ranch, so yes, that's 286. And then when you turn to go to Bishop on 70, that has been closed because of the rain that we saw this morning, and then there's more rain continuing to fall now. So that area floods very easily. It gets really slick. It's easy to hydroplane out on those country roads out that direction. So hazardous conditions really across Corpus Christi at this point, especially for driving. This is our big weather impact day. It does look like there's a lot of red, a lot of congestion right now on Crosstown at Interstate 37. So 358 and I-37. There's a lot of red in that area. There's a lot of construction in that area as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was an accident in that region. A lot of rain and a lot of driving, and that is not a good sign. So yeah, this is, again, the latest look at radar. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith. For anyone joining, we have a flood advisory that is in place for Corpus Christi. That is going to be until noon, maybe extended. And we also have a flash flood warning for Padre Island and Mustang Island. So this does include Port Aransas. So I'm going to take a look at some of those rainfall totals now. We're going to do the 24-hour rain. Actually, let's see what's fallen over the last hour, because this is what leads to the flash flooding risk. So just over the last hour, we have seen 3 inches of rain in 1 hour. This is closer to Padre Island National Seashore, but it's just south of Padre Bali Park. So right here is going to be Whitecap. And then you see the colors progressively get more pink and red. And this is, again, this is just the last hour. We have continued to see radar estimating at least 3 inches of rainfall here. This is going to be Sea Pines, and then this is going to be Padre Island Drive or Park Road 22. Where is Encada? Right here. So this is the area where a lot of the flooding photos have been taken. This is Padre Bali Park Road. It's also Access Road 5 and Encantada Avenue. Definitely that's an area to avoid on the island within the last 3 hours. Now we're starting to get radar estimating 4 inches of additional rainfall. Excuse me. When I change it to a 24-hour look at all this rain. This is a lot of rain. And so radar estimates are still 5 to 6, but reports to the National Weather Service from both mesonet sites and people living on the island have been 10 or more inches of rainfall just from today. So a lot of rain, a lot of hazards that come with that, a lot of ponding. Turn around and don't drown, y'all. That is so hazardous to do. It's very easy to stall. Also, you know, just a lot of times our water isn't necessarily rushing. It just kind of rains and sits. But You know, if it is rushing, just about 3 inches can start to try to take away some smaller cars, but if a half a foot of rain, so 6 inches, easily starts to move cars. A foot of rain will move larger cars. And so we're nearing a foot of rain, and as it ponds in places, that's going to add up even faster. So not a good sign. This is not, obviously we want rain, but we don't want this excessive, crazy amount of rain, especially not in our watershed. So right now we're seeing the rain through Kingsville, Fremont, Falfurrias as well. Padre Island is not the only location getting in on rainfall, but that is where the heaviest rain has been and the most flooding is taking place. So there's a flash flood warning until 12:30. Minor flooding, okay, so in Nueces County, we're getting minor flooding across the normal poor drainage areas in Corpus Christi. So a lot of that is through downtown and kind of the west side of town. That's where this report is coming from. Reports of minor flooding across the normal poor drainage areas through Nueces County, essentially. So avoid low areas, avoid a lot of those like or highway turnarounds. Those flood very easily in this situation, and so this is exactly why we have our impact day, and this is the highest impact day. Today is the day where the flooding risk is here. It's here in the coastal bend, and we're going to continue to see a chance of rain Friday and Saturday, and with more rain on the way, and all the moisture very soggy right now, that's only going to intensify our risk of flooding from even just a little rain the next 2 days. So as the system continues to move north, so you see the heaviest rainfall starts to shift toward Galveston and Houston. By the time we get to 2:30, we start to see still right along our coastline, so even Padre Island could see a little bit more rain continuing past that. And then it starts to move north. And so this evening we should get a break, but some scattered storms are still expected to pop up. Friday morning does not look nearly as bad as today, but it looks very isolated on Friday morning. Then Friday evening, we get a new surge of opera level energy that comes up, and that brings us another opportunity for some scattered storms in the region. And that's going to be across the area, mostly scattered to numerous. But today, obviously, the focus is coastal locations, and it's going to remain coastal locations. B County and Live Oak County, you'll probably get a few little scattered storms, but it's going to be areas from Falfurrias through the islands and up toward Rockport that see the heaviest amount of rain today, and that's going to continue. We'll start to see lighter rain around 2, 3 o'clock, and then it will move out of the region late this evening, if you can, all the way out of Aransas County. But by the time the sun is setting, we should be getting a break in the rain there. So this is going to be additional rainfall totals. So you see the island very concentrated with even a chance for additional rainfall totals of 3 inches on top of what we've already seen. Additionally, Corpus Christi, Calallen, Robstown, you know, there are going to be some pockets where we get some higher in 1 to 2 inches, possibly 3 inches of additional rainfall as well. And most of that is going to be between now and 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. is kind of check time again to see how the radar is doing, how the water is trying to find a way to drain, and we're starting to see the flooding risk go down. When it comes to our long-term forecast, so once we get past today, there is a low, there is a surface low, a mesovortex that is fueling this, and it is getting fuel from the warm Gulf of Mexico, similar to a tropical system, and it's going to track north. And as it does so, it's going to take most of the rain with it. But we get another surge of energy, like I mentioned, Friday evening especially. Then Saturday, we're still dealing with some rain in the area. Saturday morning and Saturday evening. And then even Sunday. Sunday is trending with a chance for a little bit more rain. But by the time we get to Monday, we really start to clear conditions out. and then we go back to our hot and humid pattern, and the mosquitoes are going to be out like crazy. But I really hope everyone is staying safe in this rain, and I hope that you will share any images or photos, same thing, images, videos, or rainfall reports that you have with us here on Facebook, or my Facebook page is Carly Smith WX. Again, today, tomorrow, and Saturday, I anticipate the highest rainfall risk. Even into Sunday, we're still going to be dealing with some rain, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is when we shift back to the hot, humid, and dry weather. I'm going to pull Facebook back up. I was getting reports from the National Weather Service and checking on all of that. I'm going to pull Facebook back up and run through some of your comments. I think we were talking, Keith, if you're still watching, I think we were talking about two different green squares. There was a green square on our radar. There was a green square report on my phone that looked different, showing higher end rainfall totals. Happy quinceañera to your cat, Michael. It is pouring on the south side. Is near Driscoll Children's Hospital flooded? House streets are flooded. We've got crews going out, keeping up with some of the streets. The best way to check for street flooding is going to Drive Texas. I just type it into Google, and it's a TxDOT website. It's the first one that comes up when you Google it, and it will show road closures and street floods. So right now, Drive Texas has Whitecap all the way to Encantada Street closed on Park Road 22. So that is going to be, let's go back to radar on my computer so you can look at where the rain is falling while I talk about this. I also could show you on the map, so we could do that too. So right here, this is going to be so from here to about here on Park Road 22, closed. Avoid this area. You will not get through. There is too much water on the ground. Then we've got more, so stay tuned. Okay, there is a closure on SPID up near I-37. The roadway is closed due to flooding. Use an alternate route over with water over the roadway. So this is water over roadway. I think it's the underpass. It's not the actual SPID. Water over roadway at Leopard Underpass. Seek alternate routes. So that's going to be up here. Here's Leopard Street and 358. The underpass is where there's water on the roadway. There's a lightning strike. There's the radar, so that blob or that lack of blobbiness on the left side of your screen, that's the radar. But Leopard Street and SPID or 358, Texas Highway 358. Right before you get to Interstate 37, or right after you leave Interstate 37, water is on the roadway on the underpass, so avoid driving in this area. We've got more though. There's a lot of construction too, which we all know that. Okay, that's a construction closure. Okay, I think the only other one listed on Drive Texas is the closure on Farm to Market Road 70. The roadway is closed due to flooding. Seek an alternate route, water over the roadway. And additionally, that route, part of that route to Bishop or Kingsville, is also on 286, which is crosstown, but it's once you're headed toward Chapman Ranch, the roadway is closed due to flooding. Use an alternate route. Water is over the roadway there. So that is going to be basically this route from about here and then to here, closed. You can't drive on that road on 70, from what I understand whatsoever, pretty much from 286 all the way to Bishop. That floods very easily. I have several friends that make that commute often, and they say it's very easy to hydroplane out that direction, and so we just want everyone to stay safe and avoid getting into any type of traffic accidents with all of this rain in the area. So yeah, the rain, again, it's continuing. We're getting a little bit of strengthening there near Kingsville. So Kingsville's seeing a thunderstorm. Fremont getting some of the heavy rainfall as well. And this is going to continue to move. It's moving a little bit, it's kind of merging together. But overall, the trend is going to be, it's moving from the southwest to the northeast, which keeps rain falling. Now, thankfully, we're at least not seeing the super high-end heavy rainfall that fell over Padre Island earlier today, but it's still steady, moderate rain that's just pumping in over those areas that are already flooded, and that is never a good sign. Really, as of right now, there's no best time to go to the island, but once the rain starts to come to an end, the flash flood warning right now is over at 12:30. Once the rain starts to come to an end around 2 o'clock or by 2 o'clock into the afternoon, I would check going to the island after 2, Liz, and see. Once the rain has stopped, it will get easier to navigate. But while it's actively raining, especially over the island, it is not going to be good. But the rain, yeah, so flooding, not a good sign. Jack says Leopard is flooded. We talked about that. Oh, a car is submerged. Is that at the underpass going under SPID? Caroline says, is Lamar Park okay? How about Saratoga? Any areas that you know tend to rain or flood in the rain, probably flooded at this point. Caesar says Saratoga is pouring hard. Rockport, how bad? So Rockport has kind of been on the northern end, so not as bad as Port Aransas or Padre Island, but still not good. So Rockport has seen over the last hour, you've seen about at most 1 inch of rain over the last hour. Over the last 24 hours, about 1.25 inches. So Rockport is doing better than most on the coast at this point. Padre Island's really the target for a lot of this extra heavy rainfall. Port Aransas is right on the edge of the extra heavy rainfall, but I haven't heard a lot of reports out of Port Aransas of any major flooding like we're seeing on Padre Island. So North Beach does flood really easily. Someone asked about the aquarium. Rebecca asked if the aquarium is accessible. We have a camera, but I don't think it's turned that direction. Maybe it is. We will find out. It is not, but this is not a coastal flooding thing. This is not storm surge or anything like that. However, North Beach does flood when it rains as well. So once I finish this Facebook Live, I'll get off and I'll look at it, move our camera, and I'll get back to you, Rebecca. But yeah, this is, again, so we're going to recap the flash flood warning, and then I'm going to end this Facebook Live. But I do encourage you to send in your reports and keep posting your questions, and I will get back to them as quickly as I can. But right now you see flash flood warning. That is going to continue until 12:30, where we have substantial rainfall, 10 plus inches of rain that have fallen over Padre Island specifically, where everyone lives specifically, and then up toward Port Aransas, 2, 5, 6 inches of rainfall has fallen along 361. Hazardous travel conditions along 361, but the worst flooding is on Park Road 22 between Padre Bali Park and Whitecap. So passing Whitecap is not advised at this point in time. Corpus Christi, all of Corpus Christi is in a flood advisory. That flood advisory is until noon today, and that is for 1 to 3 inches of rain with another 1 to 2 inches of rain possible. So we're going to continue to see this light kind of stratiform rain that's fairly persistent. But for anyone that may be watching from Beeville, George West, Orange Grove, Alice, Benavides, Freer, even Sinton you're going to get in on some rain, but not a lot of rain. Refugio, you're seeing an outflow boundary bringing a little bit of rain quickly to you. These locations are going to see a chance for a spotty, quick little shower, but nothing like we're seeing from Falfurrias to Kingsville to Corpus Christi, Rockport, and then south of there. So a lot of heavy rainfall. The flood advisory advises that areas flood likely are going to be flooded. That is until noon. Flash flood warning means water could be moving, trying to find a place to go because so much rain has fallen with 10 inches of rainfall, over 10 inches of rainfall at 9 o'clock. So we've already seen an additional inch or so in spots. So we may be nearing a foot of rain there on Padre Island this morning. Flash flood warning in effect for the dangerous driving conditions until 12:30 p.m. Courtney said Saratoga and Staples is okay. I know it's Timbergate. When you get off of Saratoga and Staples, or if you're driving north and you turn left on Timbergate, that area does tend to have some street flooding and the heavy rainfall. Okay, I said I was about to get off, but we are about to get a new warning, actually. So a flash flood warning is going to be issued or has just been issued for portions of Corpus Christi. So a lot of people were asking about this. This is the area of Leopard Street. It also does include North Beach. Yes. This is the port. So it also includes North Beach. So North Beach as well as downtown Corpus Christi, as well as Leopard Street. This area, the airport, is also under a flash flood warning. A new flash flood warning has been issued. I'm about to share a separate post. Share that with your friends. Make sure they're alert. It's best not to drive in these areas. But a flash flood warning has been issued. It does include the city of Corpus Christi. That is going to be until 12 p.m. No, 12:30. So the flood advisory is until 12. The flash flood warning is until 12:30. I am still here. We have a flash flood warning. Wow, I did not mean, I'm trying to take a screenshot. Flash flood warning has been issued for Corpus Christi, downtown Corpus Christi, Leopard Street, North Beach. All of these locations are currently under a flash flood warning. There is a flood advisory until noon, and that the details on this flash flood warning are at 10:35 a.m., 2 to 4 inches of rain has fallen and additional 1 to 2 inches are possible. The impact is going to be flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying locations. So these locations are places that will experience potential for flash flooding. That includes Corpus Christi International Airport, flights likely delayed at this time, but check on them. Del Mar College, Windward Campus, Del Mar College Heritage Campus, downtown Corpus Christi, Cole Park, Corpus Christi North Beach, Driscoll Children's Hospital, and Toloso. So the best advice is to turn around and don't drown. Encountering flooded roads, most flood deaths do tend to occur in vehicles. So be aware of your surroundings and do not drive on flooded roadways. So we've got the flood warning across our barrier islands, but we also have a new flash flood warning that has been issued for Corpus Christi. So what this is showing is our radar estimated rainfall, which puts it in about the 2-inch area over the last 24 hours. 1 to 2 inches of additional rainfall is anticipated over North Corpus Christi, essentially, North and West Corpus Christi. So North Beach and areas across Leopard Street, downtown, all of these locations, pretty much from SPI, the triangle that's Interstate 37, SPID, and Crosstown, that is all included in this flash flood warning. And these are very important to take seriously. You really want to avoid driving in a flash flood warning because your car could be flooded, it could stall, you could not make it to your destination. So consider all of these factors before you start trying to drive in this type of situation, essentially. Okay, so one of the latest reports, social media reports, water across Highway 358 in the Leopard Street area. So this is water across 358. So avoid Crosstown and Padre Island. Or not Padre Island, South Padre Island Drive. So Highway 358 is not Crosstown, that is South Padre Island Drive, but this is north, right near where it connects to Interstate 37. Water is being reported across the highway. Okay, so a new social media post has been posted. I'm going to check out your comments and see your questions, concerns, reports. Is it going to rain more in Corpus? Yes, it's raining until at least 12:30, likely until at least 2. So I expect rain still around 12:30 p.m. Rain is anticipated. I'm pulling up a graphic to go along with this. So the heaviest rain will likely start to taper off around 1 o'clock. Then light rain is expected to continue into the late part of the afternoon and the early evening hours. So light rain will continue through about 4, and then we should get a break. So this is our big day of rain. I hope everyone stays safe. Please, please remember to turn around and don't drown. Okay, so Christina asked, roughly when would the rain stop for the day? By light rain after 1, rain coming to an end by dinner time. Is there still more heavy downpours? Yes. So from Sinton, let me edit this. So between Corpus Christi and Sinton, I would say heavy downpours are likely until at least 12:30, and then it will mostly be light rain until about 4. Highway and roads flooded at Lantana exit also. So we've got Leopard and Lantana highway flooded in that area. So this is something you don't want to drive in if you're at work. Just try to stay there. Don't take a dinner or a lunch break unless you know you can make it easily to a location, but don't drive very far. If you do need to drive in areas that are under the flash flood warning. So once again, that's going to be most of the heart of Corpus Christi, including downtown and North Beach, and areas on 358 where it connects with I-37. That is the target zone of the worst flooding that we are seeing right now, as well as on Padre Island. So Padre Island has been flooded all morning long. New developments in flooding on the north and west side of town, and that's going to continue. The flood warnings are both until 12:30. So both flash flood warnings are expected to continue until 12:30. All this rain south of here from Kingsville to Fremont to Falfurrias, that has got to come north before we start to see the rain coming to an end. Okay, so once again, a lot of road closures are coming in. We are going to take a break just briefly to gather all of the road closures, and we will be joined with Texas Department of Transportation or Texas State Patrol with Sergeant Mallory. So he's going to join us live back here at 11. So take a break. We're going to restart it at 11, and we're going to talk all about the road closures, at 11 o'clock. So join us then. For now, I'm meteorologist Carly Smith. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll take in account all the questions that have been asked as well to be able to ask Sergeant Mallory, and we will be back at 11. Thank you so much again for watching. Stay safe everyone, and remember to turn around and don't drive.